Hey guys, Ketan again. Today we are solving another problem from the beginner level of CodeChef, and the problem is seal and receipt. The problem code is CIELRCPT, and we are doing it in C++. So let's go through the problem statement first. Tomia is a girl. She loves Chef Seal very much. Tomia likes a positive integer p. Tomia like a positive integer p, and now she wants to get a receipt of Seal's restaurant whose total price is exactly p. The current menus of Seal's restaurant are shown in the following table. Okay, so we have a list of menus and the prices for each item in the menu, right? Note that the ith menu has the price to power I minus 1, and I has a range. It is between 1 and 12. So basically, this is 2 power 0, right? The first item's price is 2 power 0, second item's price is 2 power 1, third item's price is 2 power 2, and so on till the 12th item's price is 2 power 11, right? Now, since Tomia is a pretty girl, she cannot eat a lot. So please find the minimum number of menus whose total price is exactly p. Note that if she orders the same menu twice, then it is considered as two menus are ordered. See explanations for details. Okay, so we have to minimize the number of menus, or I should say items, we choose from the menu so that we can match the price p, but still we have to minimize the number of items we are taking, right? So let me go through the input so that you can understand the problem better. Let's say we have 10, right? So there's actually a good explanation about the problem input and output, right? So let's say we have p value as 10, p is given as 10, right? Now we need to find the minimum number of menus so that we can hit the price 10, but we have to minimize the number of items that we are taking, right? So let's say we can choose how many ways can we take menus so that we can hit price 10. Well, we can choose first item in the menu, which is eel flavored water, which has a price of 1 10 times. Like we can take 10 items of that, and that will bring the price to 10. That's one way. Or we could choose 8 of these least priced items, and then we can choose deep fried eel bones, which have a price of 2. That will also get it to 10, right? This is another way, this is another way. This is the best possible way, which is we take one item of this is grilled eel livers served with grated radish, right? This has a price of 8. We take one of that and one of this, right? So that will bring us to 10. Okay, so these are all the possible ways, and out of all these possible ways, this is the best answer. This is the correct answer, right? So the answer will actually be 2, because we are taking two items. One is priced 8 and one is priced 2. Okay, so now we have understood the problem, but how do we solve it, right? I think I better code now, and after coding I'll show you how I actually like what's the best solution that I came up with. Okay, so we have test cases here. That's why I didn't take 4 as the first input, because 4 is a test case number. Let's say int t, c into t, and then we run a loop to go through each test case. Equal to 0, I less than t. Okay, so now we are inside the test case loop. Now let's define another integer p, right? We have to take p, which is the price of the item, sorry, the price of this test case, which has to be met. Okay, now I'm gonna do something. Just bear with me here until I complete the code, then I'll explain it to you, and that will be clear. So I just wrote a code. I'll just check it with the given input. Okay, we got 2182, which is exactly what we wanted. Okay, so let me explain the code right now. So what we are essentially doing is we are starting at the maximum price, which is 2048, right? So we initialized item price as 2048. Now okay, if the given price is actually greater than the current item price, then we divide it. So let's say, I think it will be better to go through an example. Let's say we have 10, right? So what happens is, let me put it here, p equals to 10, right? P is greater than 0. We come in. Now answer is actually 0. Now P is divided by item price, which is 2048, right? What will be the output of that one? 10 divided by 2048. It will actually be 0 because this is integer division in C++. So it should actually come out to 0 point something, right? Something. But the decimal value will be neglected because it is an integer division. If you don't understand what integer division is, just look at the C++ operators and just Google integer division in C++ and you'll understand the concept. Basically, when we do integer division, the decimal part of the result is omitted. We don't care about the decimal part. So okay, let's say this is 1000. We should get 0.01. Yeah, that should be it. So we'll get 0.01, but we are ignoring this because since this is an integer division, so the output will be 0, right? And for 2048, it will be something less, like 0.005 or something, like 4 something, but we omit all these and we are left with 0, right? So the answer is actually, we are not adding anything to the answer because the item price is greater than what we can fit inside the given price, which is P. Okay, so we are not adding anything, and then P percentile equals to item price. What does this do? Well, this just sets the current price so that we are left with what is the remaining price after we add the if we have added the current item into the answer. We are left with this. Let's say in the case of 2048, we are not adding anything, right? Because, well, we can't add it, it will go over the price. So P percentile item price will result to well, P is 10 percentile 2048 is equals to 10, right? If you don't understand percentile, just let's learn about modulo operator in C++, then you'll understand why this is happening, right? This is well, basically the operator does is, what the operator does is, it gives the remainder when A, which is 10, is divided by B, which is 2048. So remainder of dividing 10 with 2048 is 10, right? So P will still be 10 because we haven't added an actual item into the answer, right? So answer is still 0. And then item price is divided by 2. So why is it divided by 2? Because once we have checked the highest item, we see if it can be added. If it can be, it will be added to answer. Then we set the price P so that it will adjust to the added items. Then we have to check for the next item, right? So in the next iteration, it should check for 1024 instead of 204. So for that reason, we are dividing it by 2. So why by 2? Because we observe this pattern in the list, and it is provided that each item will be each following item will be double the price of the current item. So let's say we have 1, then the next item will be 2, then the next item will be 4. These are the prices. So according to this pattern, we are using that pattern so that we are coming up with an efficient algorithm. Okay. So yeah, so the item price will be divided by 2 to go to look at next item, right? So now instead of 2048 we are looking at 1024. Now 10 divided by 1024 will still be 0, and then 10 divided by 10 percentile 1024 is still 10. Okay, now the item price will be divided and it will become 512. Now we do the same with 512 and it will still be 0, and this will also be percentile with 512 and it will still be 10. Now we go to 256, right? So we go on through this loop, and once we are at 16, it will still be the same. 10 divided by 16 is still 0, 10 percentile 16 is still 0, but now it becomes 8, right? In the next iteration, when we divide it by 8, 10 is divided by 8, the result will actually be 1, because we'll actually get 1 point something, but we ignore the decimal values, so the answer will be incremented. So we'll add 1 to the answer, which is actually 0 till now. We'll add 1 to it, so answer will become 1. Why are we adding 1? Because, well, this operation is basically saying that we can put one quantity of this item, which has a price of 8, into our menu, so that it will fit inside the price P. Okay, so it will fit inside price P, and so we can add it. How many of them can we add it? We can add 1 of them, right? And then we percentile it with 8, and 10 percentile 8 will actually result in 2. Okay, so this is actually the remaining price after we have divided it with, okay, after we have added one item of price 8. This is the leftover price that we have with us. These are the leftover money that we have with us. So now the P is actually 2. P is turned to 2, and the answer is 1. Okay, now we check if we can fit 4, which is the next item which has a price of 4. If we can fit that, here instead of 10 it will become 2, because the current price is 2. So 2 divided by 4, it is still 0. It will come out to 0.5, but since it is integer division, it will be 0. And then, so we are not adding anything, right? So here we are checking 2 percentile 4, which is still 2, right? So we are not changing P because we haven't added anything. Now we divide it by 2. Now 2 divided by 2 is 1. Now 2 percentile 2 is 0, which means that we have added another item of price 2 into the mix. So now we have 2 items. One is the one which has a price of 8, and another one which has a price of 2, right? With this, the price becomes 0, and since we have added 1 to it, the previous answer was 1, so 1 plus 1 will become 2. So the answer is 2 now, and the price the item price is divided by 2 again, so it will become 1. But now, since the price is 0, we'll be exiting the loop. Okay, so we exit the loop and we just print the answer, which is 2, which means we have added 2 items into our menu. So with that, we can find the minimum number of items we can add to meet our price, right? And the reason that I'm doing it from 2048 instead of starting with 1 is because we want minimum number of them. If we wanted maximum number of them, we start with 1, and instead of dividing it with 2, we actually multiply it with 2, right? Everything else will remain the same. Okay, right? So let's put the answer to test. We'll submit this, and it should work. And I'll talk about the time complexity and space complexity once we have actually submitted it. Come on. Yeah, so there we go. We have this is showing time of 0 seconds, and it's correct answer. So that's good. Okay, now let's talk about time complexity first. Well, this loop doesn't count because it's just a test case loop. The actual the actual processing is being done here. So we only have one loop here, and it runs until p is greater than 0, right? So, well, actually what is happening here is we are dividing item price by 2, and we are starting with 2048, right? And it will only go till 2048. After the first iteration will turn into 1024, right? After the second iteration, 1024, and then after that it will turn into 512, and then after that it will turn into 256, right? And it will go on, and this will go on, and after a couple more iterations it will come to 1, right? And after that it will become 0. When we divide 2 by 1, it will become 0, right? And by this time, right, when it is actually with 1, we actually don't even go into 0 inside the loop, because when it is 1, whatever may be the p, right? P could be anything, like p could be 1000 or 10 or something, right? P divided by item price, which is 1, right? So this will become, whatever will be the price p, it will be divided with 1, which will result in p, as a p will be the result, right? Because we are dividing it with 1. So we'll add all the items of price 1 if we have to add any, okay? And then the p percentile 1 is equals to, well, anything with percentile 1 will become 0, right? Because the remainder of anything when divided with 1 is 0, okay? So we are basically adding all items we can of price 1 if we get there, okay? So after this, when we add all of them, the p value will definitely become 0, right? When it becomes 0, we don't actually go through the loop again. So what is happening here is we are checking from 2048 till it becomes 1. So there is hardly 10 or 11 iterations of this loop, and that's the maximum iterations that this loop can go through, right? We can only go till 11 iterations, and with that it will end. So since we know what is the maximum number of iterations it can go through, and that number is constant, which is 11, right? So the time complexity of this algorithm is actually constant, right? Order of it is an order of 1 time complexity. So this is like one of the best algorithms that you can use for this problem, right? There's also another way you can loop through each item price, and you keep deducting one item quantity at one time until you see that the price is not greater than this anymore, right? So that is another way that will take a little bit more time, but at the end it will also be similar, right? So the time complexity is order of 1. So this is one of the best solutions that you can get for this problem. And then when we come to space complexity, do we have any collection like an array or a linked list or anything? No, we just use a couple of variables. So we know that there are constant number of variables in each iteration, like in every test case. So the space complexity is also constant, order of 1. So with that, this is one of the best algorithms that you can use for this problem. So the time complexity is order of 1 and the space complexity is also order of 1, right? So thank you for watching. Share it with your friends and hit a like button if you liked the video, and stay tuned for some really awesome content that I have coming up for you. I'm trying some really cool things. Maybe by the next week you will see the video that I made or I'm making, right? Thank you guys.